Now, from the Weather Tracker TV Storm Studios, this is your weather tonight. Here's Chief Meteorologist William Cole.
All right, well, good Tuesday evening, everybody. Hopefully you had a great Tuesday afternoon. It was another very warm to hot one out there. You probably don't need me to tell you that, and really that will translate even into our evening, another evening with temperatures generally in the 80s. We'll be drifting down into the 70s by 9 p.m., fair skies, light winds. Again, this persistently hot forecast will continue through the rest of your work week, but if you're looking for weather changes, they do arrive this weekend in the form of a cold front. The newest data now coming in this evening. I want to get you caught up on those details as we roll through the hour. But this is what we did this afternoon. These were your actual observed highs around the area. So officially at the big airport, 87, but there were a few locations, hometowns around the Metroplex, like Mesquite, even the Garland area. And in fact, even over in Burleson, that did briefly tap 90 again this afternoon. Similar story across North Texas. Again, you can see a lot of mid-upper 80s. But again, the Corsicana area down in Navarro County, even out in Palo Pinto County, Mineral Wells also, again, briefly tapping 90 again earlier this afternoon. So we're completely quiet in North Texas. You don't need me to tell you that radar-wise. We've had a few showers down in the deep south of Texas, like maybe down around Brownsville and Padre as we've gone through the afternoon. But there's also been some rain off to our northwest for another day in a row. In fact, out in our Texas Panhandle, across parts of Oklahoma, all of that spinning clockwise around an area of high pressure that continues to dominate our weather locally. But again, changes are on the way. As we look out to the west here, I'm going to take you all the way out to the west coast. And as we look across parts of Southern California, where they have had their first severe thunderstorm watch specifically for Los Angeles County in 17 years, they've had severe thunderstorm warnings, even some tornado warnings out here as we've gone through the day. But this is a big upper level storm system. The reason I'm mentioning this is what's inbound for the weekend. It's not necessarily going to be that intense when it arrives here. While we could have some thunderstorms, maybe even a few stronger storms, the bigger piece of this, it is going to drop a frontal boundary into the area. And by the time we get into Sunday, as opposed to the upper 80s to around 90, it'll put us down into the lower 80s. So again, there is some heat relief on the way. As we look at the whole picture here, this time of year especially, we really begin to look off to the north, right? Do we have cold air? Do we have really cold air beginning to pool up across parts of Canada or the northern tier that could become displaced with any of these frontal boundaries that we tend to get this time of year? Right now, the answer is really no. So again, we will have at least less hot temperatures. But again, as far as a big blast of fall coming in, again, right now, not necessarily seeing that. There will be another frontal boundary in about 10 days, but that one is also beginning to look not necessarily as strong. So in the near term, again, you can see this ridging pattern, big area of high pressure that really just continues to dominate the southern plains. But take a look at this here. This would be Saturday. Here comes that approaching upper level storm system. It will literally take from right now through Saturday for that to make its way from Southern California into the plains. But as that happens, again, it drops that boundary into the area. A few scattered showers and thunderstorms on Saturday. Again, a few of those could be strong. Temperatures ease back on Sunday, but then a ridge builds back in by Monday and Tuesday of next week. Temperatures begin to rebound, and then here comes storm system number 2. This will be for Wednesday and a Thursday. Another frontal boundary and another opportunity of some rain and storm. So the pattern does become more active once we get into this weekend, and again, once we get into parts of next week as well. Otherwise, again, you can see this evening, tonight, tomorrow, everything just kind of circulating, if you will, around that area of high pressure. But again, simply put, we do remain completely dry. Quickly, this would be your Saturday. Again, a couple isolated showers or thunderstorms around the area. Again, the overall rainfall probabilities and even the amounts, again, look pretty spotty. But again, we'll continue to refine that forecast as we go forward in time. Otherwise, humidity levels essentially remain fairly low through the end of your work week. They come up just a touch on Saturday. Again, hoping to get some precipitation in the area. Otherwise, lower 60s generally. Those are your overnight lows. Fair skies, mid-upper 80s to right around 90. That would be your Wednesday. And much the same even as we go through Thursday. Generally sunny, mid-upper 80s to right around 90. So it's steady as she goes through Friday. But here comes that boundary on Saturday, an opportunity of rain and storms around the area. Look at your Sunday, dropping temperatures down to only 84. And then again, you can see by the middle part of next week, here comes that next frontal boundary. We may be talking about some highs in the upper 70s by the middle end of next week.